Hey, this is Karen with Over the Artsy Moon, and we are going to do a little painting today. I'm just going to get everything connected here to Facebook so I can go there live as well. So give me one sec. We're going to just make sure we're live there. Hey everyone, this is Karen with Over the Artsy Moon. Hope you're having a great day. This is a brand new painting we're going to be adding to the Artsy Moon Paint Club in the next week or so. So I'm so excited about it. It's also looking like this as a canvas, so such a cutie. And I thought I could show you how to add a simple bow if you do the door hanger version. And then also if you want to do some bubbles, I'll show you a super fun and easy way to do that. So as you come on, say hi. Tell me where you're watching from. Let me know if you're watching on the replay. Go ahead and put replay in the comments, and we're going to have some fun. And as if you've ever painted bubbles before, let me know. Do you usually put bows on to your door hangers, or do you keep them simple? I usually keep mine kind of simple, but it really depends on, what you like to do and all of that. So, all right, so I have a piece of ribbon. I just kind of figured out if this would be the right size or not. And all I'm going to do is just the way you did your running shoes, tied your shoes when you were a kid. So I have the two pieces. I'm going to just come to the ends here and make it really loose. And I'm so glad you like it, Janet. How are you? Yeah, it's kind of a cutie. There's some really nice details about it. The pouncers are actually what we're going to use to make our bubbles. So if you have some pouncers, that makes it super easy, but in the video I show you how to do it without pouncers. So, you could do it either way as a canvas or on the door hanger. And it's just so much fun. Hey, Angie, thanks so much. She says, Karen, it's beautiful. I really appreciate you saying that, because this one I tried. I just had to make it the best I could because I love sea turtles. Does anybody else love sea turtles? I just love them so much. And somebody else could do this bow really well, but I'm going to just do my best here. We're keeping it super simple here. Okay, so I've got it super loose, and I'm going to just tighten it up a bit, then pull, and then tighten it up a little more. Hi, Dory. Nice to see you. She's from Strawberry, Arizona. That sounds like a really cool place to be. I love that. All right, I'm just going to make this a little nicer as I go here, but not get it super tight yet. Okay, so what I usually do for my ribbons, for my ribbons when I tie it, is just to use this little piece of plastic. Okay, it's super easy. What I did originally is just created my own little template. You love sea turtles, Trisha. I'm so glad. Awesome. So here's what it is. It's just a piece of plastic. I traced it around a piece that I had. I don't know what I got this from. I think you can see paint on it. It's been through the through a lot of good times painting with me. So all I did was trace around the top, and then it's about 17 inches across the bottom, but that part really doesn't matter. Here's what does matter. So you create your own template, and then you can go about 6 inches apart and about 3/4 of an inch down between those two. And then I have it where it's folded in the middle. So for this, since I'm just going to add a simple little bow to the top, I'm just going to make a hole with my crocodile right at the top. And the reason I like from here to here, it is, I believe, 6 inches as well. Okay, about 6. This helps me if I look at my lettering to make sure it's going to be fairly straight. So I can line it up with the lettering there and then just push it up to the top. And then I don't have a hole there, but I can just make a little mark for myself approximately where I want it. Mercedes, you like it? Thank you so much. I'm glad you like it. I'll just make a hole right about there, or a dot right there. And then I can turn this around. Let me make sure I'm on this green here. I have to stand up with this thing. I don't know if you've ever used a crocodile. It's CROPADILE. Very easy to use, but you have to have a little bit of arm strength for it. So if you look closely, you'll see when I push this, that little piece comes down, and it's just going to make the hole in your board. You could, of course, easily use a drill or staple it on the back, whatever you want to do. I'm going to stand up here because otherwise it's not going to happen. So I'm going to make sure I'm lined up there. And if it's not exact, it's okay. It's just a placement. There we go. All right. I didn't get it quite on that little dot, but it's close enough. All right. Hi, Marina. You have a crocodile? Yeah, they're easy, right? They're so easy to use. And then I was looking for some twine. I couldn't find any twine. Oh, I did grab this. If you were doing 2 holes, I don't usually, but you could, clip it in place. Can you tell what my favorite color is? I kind of love the aqua. That's one of my favorite colors. So all I'm going to do with this is just come through. So normally I would have 2 holes and I would just lace it through the back, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do this without. Okay, we're going to cross our fingers that I can manage. Okay, whew. Okay, I did it. The stressful part. Okay, I don't know why that's the stressful part, but you never know if it's going to actually work for you. So Mercedes, it's not in the portal yet, but in the next day or 2, I'm going to add it for you. And you can see the canvas version here. He's so cute, right? Do you love the little baby sea turtle? And by the way, I know he's not a realistic color. You're not going to really see a blue and green sea turtle, but artistic license, right? If you're in the club and you want to paint it with more neutral colors, you certainly can do that, of course. But, I'm all about art being fun and playful, and it's already, it's just a fun thing that you can do. Janet says, I haven't used my crocodile in a while, but oiling it really helps save my arms. Really? Okay, that's good to know. I appreciate that advice. Okay, so you know how I did not tighten it really well, so we're going to see if I can make this work. Okay, that's the front, and I do have to trim off those ends a little bit. Sabrina, I'm so glad that you like it. Okay, so I just put that ribbon through, and I could do it a couple different ways. I could tighten it now that it's through there. Let me just tighten it a bit. And, somebody's going to say, that's not a really nice ribbon. It's the best I can do. I have done the fancy ribbons in the past, but honestly, that's not my focus. I love focusing on the art, keeping it really fun, and still step by step, which means it's easy for anybody to be able to paint. And this one is going to be in the Artsy Moon Paint Club very soon. And almost everything's ready. I just had to get a couple of the extra tracers good to go. Okay, so just to get those ribbons cut nicely, let me find my scissors. This one's a little shorter, but that's okay. So all I'll do is fold that on the end. I like the wired ribbon. It would be helpful if I got some better scissors here, but this is fine. Make it work, right? This is not Essential Stencil, Diane. This is my own design. It's in the Artsy Moon Paint Club, and it is available, or it will be available in the next day or 2 for members. But I'm just showing how I tie the bow. I use a template like this for myself. I use the crocodile, and then I'm going to show you how I make the bubbles here. So if anybody wants to learn how to make some bubbles, I will show you how to do that in a couple of minutes. Okay, so here's our little bow at the top, and I'll have to play with this a little bit, but basically you're just gonna, let me move this stuff out of the way. Erica says, OMG, this is so cute. I'm so glad that you like it, Erica. All right, so here's what, I would just hang this up on my door, okay, on the door hanger like that, tie it up in a ribbon there, or a knot, whatever. Fluff this up a bit. I'm so glad you like it. Janet says, Erica, she outdid herself with this one. You guys are so sweet. I know this is going to cover up the letters, so I would have to, maybe I would use a little bit of glue or something just to put that, make sure, or have it right up at the top here. And then you could see it's just a small little bow, and I could make it a little shorter if I need to for that. Okay, so that is super cute, and this is what the canvas looks like if you're just coming on brand new for the club. I've had, you know, I went through because we have a spot in the club where people can say what they want, and I kind of tallied all of the different responses that people made. There were like about 100, and I think 7 or 8 of you wanted a sea turtle. So like, okay, it's a little daunting because of all the little details, but I thought, okay, this is it. Summer's coming up, the warm weather. We want to do something with the ocean. We want to have some fun with that, right? Okay, so here we go. Debbie says, adorable. This is definitely a keeper. I'm so glad you like it, Debbie. Awesome. Okay, so what you're going to do for the bubbles is the easiest way is to create it with a couple different sizes of pouncers. Okay, so I have these. These are, I know I have some old Martha Stewart ones. They're not available anymore, but you can get these from Amazon, from Folk Art. I'm sure you could get them at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I think on Amazon there's $6 for the whole set. There's more than this that come with it. And let's see if I'm missing anything. All right, you guys are so sweet. I love the nice comments. And then I've got a little bit of Deco Art Sea Breeze. You don't really need too much. Probably poured too much white, but that's okay. We'll just get a little bit. And a little bit of True Blue, because I'm only going to do a couple of the bubbles there. Hi, Erin. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like it. And here's what the canvas version looks like. We did some coral, some highlighting on the coral, and just keeping it simple. But there's some details that will take you a little bit longer. So I think you'll enjoy it though. Thanks, Ellen. I'm glad you love the colors. And I did mention it already. I know they're not realistic paint colors for a turtle. You know, you wouldn't see. Well, you know, sometimes you look at the photos and then you see them a little unrealistic. They look, you know, you see the blues and the greens. So that's kind of where I'm going with my artistic license. But what else could you paint this? What would you guys paint your turtle? Would you do the natural colors, or would you do the fun blues and greens, or something entirely different? Let me know. All right, I'm going to take my pouncer and go into that white and then offload a little bit. I definitely want it covering the whole pouncer. Barbara, thank you so much. She says, okay, goodness. I absolutely love him. I know he's so cute, right? I'm so glad you love him because I am a little partial to him. I worked really hard on him, so I'm so glad that everybody's liking him. And if you're in the club, you will have options on how to do him. And then I did the lettering. I just traced it and then used a Posca paint marker to finish that off. Okay, so I've got this on my pouncer. This is my biggest one. I'll just make one circle right over here. Okay, it looks like that. Let's do another one a little smaller. Well, you guys get the idea, right? I don't have to wash 2 different ones, but I had 2 different sizes that I used. Let's do one coming off. I don't want to make it, let's see, maybe right over here. We'll have one right on the edge there. Both colors would be great. Yeah, Barbara, right? You could do a couple different versions. This one I didn't quite get all the way around. Just come back and get that there. Okay, we'll let those dry for a sec. I'm just checking the comments here. Karen says, thank you. I'm so excited. Yay, I'm so excited that you like him. Debbie says, colors are perfect as they are. Yes, awesome, perfect. Okay, so then we're going to take the pouncer that's the next size, and basically we're going to create a color palette. We're just going to get both of these colors onto our pouncer. I have blue, the dark blue more on the bottom, and I have the light blue on the, well, okay, it's going to be on the bottom, the darker color, and then the lighter color is going to be on the top. We're trying to basically match whatever the color is behind. So let me look here. That's pretty aqua there. It's okay if I have that blue on there. It's going to help create a little shadow, but I'll get a little more of that aqua, that sea foam. Okay, and then right there, I'm going to keep that dark blue on the bottom, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so I go right to the middle best I can and just hold it there. Okay, I didn't get quite filled in all the way. I'll just give it a little push. All right, that's pretty good. And then I'll do the one right over here too. All right. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And then if you were, you know, if you were doing a paint party or you were doing this at home and you were going to do some other painting, make sure you put these into the water right away. I'm just going to put a little bit because you don't want the paint to dry on here. So let me just put a little bit of water in there and I will soak these while I'm finishing up here. Glad you like it, Valerie. She says, this is adorable. Absolutely love it. Okay, and then the other thing you can do is just grab a liner brush or a detail brush. And I don't know where my water, I'll just pour a little bit here and take a sip. Happy day, everybody. This is me, not quite prepared. It's just water, I promise. So a little water, and then let me get I'll water down my white slightly. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. I'm so glad you're excited about it. And if you're in the club, you'll also have the option to paint the canvas version. It's really up to you. Which one do you think you guys want to paint more? Do you want to do the canvas or the door hanger version? Okay, so all I'm going to do here, this is the bubble I just created. We'll just come down very slightly and do just a curve at the top. I kind of didn't go far enough, but that's okay. And then just a little wiggle. Just a little wiggle. It's going to look like a reflection at the top of the bubble. You can even go a little bit. That one water was kind of watered down a bit, so I'll just make it a little more opaque. Just a little thicker there. Okay, so that's one. And no, Debbie, please. She says, I'm sorry I keep on commenting. Just too cute. Can't wait to try this. Yes, you might do both, Mercedes. Yes. Dory says color dabble was a bit smaller than the white one. Yeah, so it's basically just a little curve at the top, and then you just wiggle your brush slightly. Okay, so if you look here, this one right here, there's a bit of a curve. I probably did that a little bit off, but you know, when you just look at these, you're not trying to say, oh, it's a perfect bubble, but you get the idea. There's a little wiggle at the top. There's a little curved line. And, you know, it's art. It's not meant to be a photograph or anything like that. It's meant to be something pretty to do. And so let me just show you what this will look like. I'm holding it. I'll have to fix this bow a little bit, but you get the idea. The bow would be right. I guess all right, I'll fix it and then I'll take a picture for you guys because this is not working. But you get the idea, and I'm so glad that you guys like it. And then we have our sweet little canvas. So if you need information about the Artsy Moon Paint Club, let me know. I'm happy to give you some info about it. And then for anybody who is in the club already, I will be glad to be putting everything, all the final touches on, and you should see it either later today or tomorrow. And it's going to be very cool to see how you guys create it and what you do. Let's see. Elizabeth says she's going to do the door hanger. Yay! And Debbie's going to do both the door hanger and canvas. Dory loves the door hanger idea. Mercedes might just do both. Yeah, and you could adjust the color of the water, you know, make it a little darker. I did it a little darker on the edges here and then lighter in the middle for the canvas, but, you know, everybody's is going to turn out differently, and, you know, that's how it is with art. It's very nice when everybody comes with their own set of skills and you make your own you know, preferences, and it's just fun. All right, have a great day, everybody, and thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thanks, Liz. I appreciate that. Have a wonderful day and happy painting.